So you're looking at a couple that's been in the trenches, just like you're in the trenches. And some of the things that we have learned and why they've been meaningful to us in our marriage to help us go 13 years now in a very difficult journey. The biggest one that's helped us is lots and lots and lots of communicating.
If anything, Dina, one of her great qualities is she's a great communicator. She's I would call an over-communicator, but I always know where she is and what she's doing, and she always knows where I am and what I'm doing, and she fills me in on where the kids are and what they're doing.
I feel like every couple needs that. Probably even if you don't have special needs children, but if you have special needs children, the time is so rare to actually have a conversation.
I am very much of an introvert, an internal processor. I want to think through. I am not going to confront you and get in your face and have all this passion, and kind of the opposite of my wonderful husband.
I mean, it's definitely a struggle for me to not try to take it on and not try to handle it all myself and listen to what others have to say on things that would be helpful to do and their thoughts.
So it has been a journey, especially in light of Micah, who takes ordinary issues that we all have and multiply by 100, and you've got some bigger issues. And so I want to kind of process, and he wants to sit down and tear it apart and confront it and let's just go in it. And I'm thinking, wait, I can't do it like that. I don't want to do it like that. I'm not designed to do it like that. But what we've learned is that there's a give and take. Mine's not right, his wrong. It's just how we're designed.
I became the expert. I guess John trusted my opinion on that. And then, but he will stand up on for what he thinks. And I guess it's give and take a little bit, but we've worked together. Lots of praying, lots of talking, and a lot of trust, I guess is what it is.
So I have to give a little bit and realize I've got to think on my feet a little faster, process a little faster, tell him I'm going to think about that, and not feel like it's sucking me dry. We go out on dates sometimes, and now I know what men feel like sometimes because it's, and I'm like, okay,
What?
Jared, could you,
a typical guy?
Could you just, our code is, could you BL it for me? Could you just bottom line it for me? Because I'm so lost in what he says, I don't even know what we just talked about.
But it's also good. Here's a rule I think has worked really well for us is I'll spill it out. I want to deal with it right away. An extrovert, kind of a guy who wants to let it go, you have to give yourself kind of a time limit sometimes to say, I have to wait this long before I get to let it go. And someone who processes, you got to give yourself a time limit that you have to interact after a certain period of time. Otherwise, it'll go on forever. You see what I'm saying? So that's maybe a quick rule you can use on how to kind of find a medium point without saying, what are you going to give up? You did it last time, I do it, because that's not functional.
Andrew won't ever come to me and just say, I'm worried about this or I'm thinking about this, because I think he doesn't want to put anything else on my plate.
Dealing with the special needs, it makes me want to retreat a lot. Sometimes I want to pull back. Men
don't normally open up and share their feelings as well. And I think sometimes he's so busy that he doesn't want to bother me with anything else either. And so I have to pursue him.
The other thing is we ask each other about stuff. One of the things that I've done for years and years and years, sometimes it drives her nuts, but she's definitely acclimated to it, is I call her almost every day from work, one time somewhere in the day, not the same time or anything, but I'll just call her up and I'll just say, hey babe, just want to know how you're doing today. I want her to know that I'm thinking about her, I care about what she's doing. Very rarely, because it's not like I can stop and say, oh, she goes, I got all this stuff, like it's a coming home from work conversation, but she knows it's a touch point. It communicates to her that I love her and I care what's going on and I'm touching base, and I might say, hey, we'll deal with that when I get home. And then what she does at the other end is when I come home, she'll go, hey, we were gonna do this or whatever, and reminds me of it because I'll forget because it's not that important to me. Yeah. And then she'll remind me of it, I'll go, that's right, let's go, let's dig into that. So we'll try to do that, okay?
And just to brag on him, those phone calls don't always come at an opportune time. And so I'm always not as receptive. I'm like, what do you want? bottom line it for me, babe. And I had to start realizing that is such an act of love and care that my husband is showing to me. And he might not want a huge conversation. He probably can't have one, and I'm not going to give one. But I know he cares right now at that moment what I'm struggling with.
When you have a special needs child, I think for a lot of people, you want to handle it, at least for me, you want to try to handle it all yourself. You think you've got it down, you've got how it all works, what can make it better, how can you handle this when they do this is how you fix it. And so it does take a lot of being open, making that time to sit down with your spouse and talk about, encourage one another, find out how he's feeling in this situation, and what can help him, and vice versa, how he can help. And you need that to encourage one another. You really do. But it's a struggle.